Greetings, everybody. Along with Francis Williams, I'm Kevin Calabro. Indeed, the Huskies have won 31 straight here at home against non-conference opponents. And, Francis, they've lost 4 of the last 5 on the road. There's some fine-tuning that needs to go on here. The Huskies have a very favorable schedule, 9 of the next 11 at home, including getting into that Pac-12 schedule.
Well, this is an opportunity for them to come home and get some home cooking, number one, get off the road. But this is when they're going to get the chance to really find out who they are, tinker with the lineup, get organized, which I think is paramount with this group right now. Get organized and just get ready for Pac-12 play. 9 of the next 11, 5 in a row at home, and just an opportunity to get everyone on the same page and get fine-tuned for Pac-12.
The Gauchos UC Santa Barbara 5-2 this year. Overtime losses, double overtime losses. Not a team to be trifled with. They bring back a lot of talent that has been in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. Yeah, they really do, and they're led by Orlando Johnson, who we'll get to in a little bit. He's a phenomenal player, but this is an experienced group. They've been to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. Coach Williams has been there for 15 years. He has a system in place that the guys understand, and they bought into it. So this is going to be a good test for the Huskies here tonight. Well, the last time we saw the Huskies, they were coming back furiously against a Duke team, but ran out of gas, ran out of time. Tony Wroten sensational. Let's go to Jen Mueller with more on Tony Wroten.
Well, 23 points from Tony in that game against one of the best teams in the country. It certainly gave him a confidence boost, and one that the coaches saw this week in practice. They said instead of playing like a freshman, he looked more like a sophomore and a junior. He was more aggressive and more vocal with his teammates. Something to keep in mind tonight as he continues to ride that wave. I would imagine he is going to be a key to tonight's game. And the coach and Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkins has a couple more keys to the game in his State Farm marquee matchup. Lenny?
Well, no question about it, Jen. The key matchups, I think, tonight is certainly going to be Orlando Johnson. He was last year's Big West Player of the Year, and this young man brings a 22-point average tonight, and he's going to be going against Terrence Ross. Ross is also a very talented young man, great athleticism, plays the passing lanes well. So both players' stats are pretty similar, and look out because this could be a real good duel tonight.
Lots of minutes for those guys, Lenny, and as we're just hearing behind us, lots of minutes for Tony Wroten. Looks like, Kevin, he has moved into the starting lineup tonight. That's right, Jen. For the first time in his collegiate career here at Washington, the young freshman from Garfield is indeed in the starting lineup. Remember, Aziz Njai, the 7-footer, averaging better than 2 blocks per ball game, out. Presumably, they want him back by December 29th when they begin Pac-12 play against Oregon State. Lorenzo Romar closing in on win number 200, 199 up, 106 down in 10 years. This is 10th campaign here at the University of Washington.
Well, Lorenzo's done a great job of getting this program going in the direction that it's in. Closing in on win number 200, as you said. Great matchup here tonight against Pac-12 versus the Big West.
His counterpart is Bob Williams, 14th season, 222 victories. With Orlando Johnson, Nate Garth, James Nunnally averages 18 a game. Chris Peterson and Jaime Cerna checks in at 6'9", 235 and a banger.
Yeah, he is a banger, coming off a career high 22 points and 5 block shots in their win against San Diego earlier this week. So again, an experienced group coming in here hungry, seeing if they can knock off someone from the Pac-12.
The officials are Dick Cartmel, Mike Cyphers, and Michael Irving. We're underway, and this is Orlando Johnson attacking the rim, and charge called on Orlando Johnson is getting into the paint. It was Abdul Ghani to get position.
Well, you see right away they want to try to get Johnson going early. He was scoreless in the first half of their game earlier this week against San Diego. Ended up with 12 in the second half. But he's a talented player, and you look at that body, 6'6", about 225, big and strong.
Wroten has it up top with Gaddy at the edge, and screening out high as Ross will roll out, look for a three. He's got a mismatch over there. Nate Garth is listed at 6 feet. Ross on the post up. This one sails over the rim.
Well, Kevin, you and I were talking off the air earlier about Ross and Wilcox. These guys need to get to the free throw line more. With the small matchup he has with Garth guarding him, Ross needs to take him down low and post him up and draw some fouls or get some easy buckets.
Now they spread out and they trap Nunnally to get it out of his hands. They throw to Cerna. Outside it comes to Garth. The ball sticks between rim and glass on the exchange of possession. But first a foul called inside in an attempt to garner that loose ball. Bob Williams has done a terrific job with this program. He is second only to Jerry Pym. Actually, he's tied Jerry Pym as the all-time winningest coach at UC Santa Barbara with his 222 victories. On the inbounds, Johnson has it blocked, but a foul called inside. Looks like Wilcox got it.
Well, Huskies fall asleep there on that out-of-bounds play, but back to Coach Williams for a minute. Longtime assistant at Pepperdine, and spent some time at UC Davis as well, and just an outstanding coach. And again, been at this program for 15 years now, 14 years, and has really done an outstanding job.
A lot of folks here from the next level, the NBA, to take a look at Orlando Johnson and Terrence Ross, Tony Roten, perhaps.
Yeah, well, the NBA people get a twofer with the Arizona-Gonzaga game tomorrow. So a lot of NBA scouts in town because there's a lot of college talent in town this weekend.
Gauchos take the lead on a couple of Johnson free throws. Roten will bring it up and then give way to Gaddy. He'll start the offense. It'll be interesting to see here, Francis, who indeed will be the spark plug to ignite the offensive engine. Will it be Roten or Gaddy? Do they exchange sides? What happens here as Gaddy slides in? Nice pass. Good find to Roten. He'll lay it in with the left hand from the right side.
That's a good find by Gaddy. I think the first thing these guys are going to have to do is just get familiar. This is not a group we've seen a lot of. And with them starting the game, with them used to having Roten coming off the bench and really being that spark off the bench, this is uncharted waters for them with regards to these guys all starting the game.
Cerna will drag outside. Now he'll drop down. Nunnally averages 18 a game, and this man Johnson 6th in the country in scoring at 22 a contest. Met by Ross.
There's our marquee matchup right there. Williams on Ross, and that time good defense, better offense.
Step back off glass, a beauty for Johnson. Orlando Johnson makes it 4-2, UC Santa Barbara. Wilcox for three. On the weak side with position inside Nunnally. Good anticipation by Roten. Thought he had a pick, but right to the young point guard Garth. Drives in and again contact made.
Great job of stepping in there and taking the charge by Darnell Gant. And once again, the marquee matchup, Orlando Johnson, Terrence Ross. Terrence doesn't go for the pump fake, gets a hand up, challenges the shot, but just a nice step back off glass for two. Cerna thinks he has a lane, but there's Gant stepping up outside the restricted area, and it's a charge.
And you can see what the strategy is for the Gauchos here early without the 7-foot Njai in the middle. They're going to go to the rim or attempt to.
Absolutely attacking the basket. And this is the area right here with Washington. You see a little bit of standing around and trying to figure out who's going to do what. And that's that organization that we talked about in the open. Washington is at a point where they just have to get more organized and understand each other's role. Guys have to accept their role and then buy in.
Nate Garth out of Sacramento, transfer from New Mexico, sidewinds off the screen, shuffles his feet, didn't walk, picks up the dribble and laid it in. Nice play as he slithers in there. Gauchos lead 6-2.
And that's where Njai is missed right there, because ordinarily you'd have that 7-footer back there waiting to send that one back to him.
Wilcox the pump fake, 2 dribbles set up and knocks down the mid-range jump shot. I like seeing that. It's too easy to fall for that three, Francis, which you can drive it or pull up with that mid-range shot.
And he's added that to his game here. In his redshirt sophomore season. He used to just be strictly a catch and shoot guy, but he's added that ability to put the ball on the floor with that one dribble pull up.
Not only can't hold the pass, deflected out of bounds, Washington ball.
And as you mentioned, good ball movement, bad angle on the closeout by Cerna, one dribble pull up for Wilcox, and that's a layup for him.
Wilcox at 6'5", covered by Chris Peterson at 6'3". Wilcox steps out, great crossover, attacks Cerna's body, missed it. The tip jam by Darnell Gant is in and out, and here come the Gauchos the other way.
We haven't talked about Nunnally much. He's an 18-point per game scorer himself, so he finally gets his first look at the basket.
Gant controls. If you're just now joining us, Tony Roten joins 3 other guards and Darnell Gant in the starting lineup. Aziz Njai is out. Next 2 to 3 games. Here's Gant, one dribble in the paint, and the rebound grabbed by Orlando Johnson. UC Santa Barbara comes in at 5-2 on the year. Johnson tried to enter. Good slip front by Gant, but Cerna recovers, drives in, and pumps it in with the right hand. It wasn't pretty, but effective.
And he's playing with a lot of confidence coming off that career high 22 earlier in the week.
And he's a load, 6'9", 235. He comes out and closes out on Wilcox, but too late as CJ knocks down a three.
Now, you know that's in the scouting report somewhere that 23 is a shooter, and they've given him 3 pretty wide open looks here early.
Wilcox shooting 45% from 3 coming into tonight's play, averaging 16 a game. Johnson cross court. This is Peterson. Nunnally tried to slant in, turned away by Ross. Good help defense by Roten. Recovered, but not in time on the point guard, Nate Garth, who's already gotten in the paint for a couple of buckets.
And Washington has drawn a couple charges here early, but Santa Barbara's been able to get into the paint whenever they want.
Gaddy comes right back. He attacks the body of Garth and scores and is fouled as we go to timeout. 14:46 left first half from Seattle. Gauchos 10, Huskies 9. As we look at a beautiful night in Seattle for basketball. Huskies are back home after a sojourn that took them to New York City for a nice visit. Some very competitive basketball against Marquette and against Duke at the Garden. As Abdul Gaddy to the line, a chance at a three-point play.
Gaddy comes up short on that free throw. Huskies, that's a point of contention with them, 60% right now as a team from the free throw line.
Greg Samaji is in the lineup, 7'3" Hungarian, averaging better than 2 blocks per ball game for the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. This is Orlando Johnson. Out on the wing to James Nunnally, having a legal screen set out there by Christian Peterson.
You see Santa Barbara want to use the ball screens on the perimeter with not using the typical 4 or 5 for the screen and roll, but using the pick and roll situation or ball screen situation with the perimeter guys.
Number 5, Keegan
Hornbuckle now in the lineup, 6'7" sophomore out of Westlake, California, transfer from Colorado. Santa Barbara certainly got much taller with a 7'3" Samaji and a 6'7" Hornbuckle. Here's Wilcox at the ball. Dawson's cross court. Gaddy will tee up a 3 and go up down that
When Gaddy was making the outside shot to go with Ross and Wilcox, they can be deadly from behind the three-point line. They just can't fall in love with it.
TJ Taylor, freshman from Oakland, California, in to run the point now. Taylor with 18 to shoot. Desmond Simmons in for the Huskies along with Wilcox and Ross. The Huskies with their first lead of the game. Here again, UC Santa Barbara attacking the rim, and this is the 3rd charge that UC Santa Barbara has been levied. That one, James Nunnally going to the baseline.
When you see coming out of the timeout, Santa Barbara paying a little bit more attention to Wilcox, and he draws 2 defenders and drops it off to Gaddy for the bucket. And once again, as you mentioned, Kevin, the 3rd charge that Washington has taken here early in this first half.
And the Gauchos have turned it over 5 times. Out of the corner, Ross, a 3. Simmons on the weak side jabs at it, but Orlando Johnson comes down with it. Long lead pass, that one intended. Down there for a Hornbuckle, but broken up beautifully by an alert Husky defense led by Desmond Simmons.
You know, that's good hustle by Simmons because he was fighting with Johnson for that rebound down here on the baseline and sprinted down the court and knocked that pass away. So that's great hustle by him, but not very good recognition by the rest of the Husky team that they had someone behind him.
Now Boswell comes in the lineup now. Samaji, the big fella, going deep. Simmons with the rebound. Gaddy will bring it across. With a step to the end line, cross-court whip, good ball rotation. This is Roten with it, shaking the big man, sliding in. A self-check in the bottom of the rim, but Simmons the rebound, laid it in, and the foul.
Well, I think this is where Desmond Simmons could really make his mark with this Washington team. There was a thought that he might be the one inserted into the starting lineup tonight. But coming off the bench, giving Washington some energy and effort on the defensive end, getting to the glass, following up shots just like he did there, getting to the free throw line, making some free throws. He can really be an energy and effort guy defensively for Washington.
Fouls on Samaji, that's his first. Here is Simmons from the Bay Area. Taken by Orlando Johnson. UC Santa Barbara off to a 57% shooting start. Huskies are 6 of 14. Johnson covered by Wilcox. in the corner. The follow-away jump shot for Johnson is good. Boy, he had to work to get it.
We've seen him do that twice, and the one thing that Washington has not been able to do, they have not been able to speed him up. He's doing all of this at his pace and in the rhythm that he wants to do it in.
Huskies by 2. Roten fakes and drives. But tangled up with the big man. Coming away with it is Samaji. He's been impressive so far, Samaji.
I'm sure if he can come in and protect the middle and affect some shots and pull down some rebounds, he had a good look from the short corner there earlier and he wasn't able to finish.
We'll give him a tap. There we go. Squeezes one in and he gets fouled in the act.
But at the end of the day, he's still 7'3". And on the penetration, nice drop off. And at 7'3", he has to catch the ball down by his waist, but strong enough and good enough hands to play through that contact and finish the play and have a chance for the end one with a 14-14 tie score here.
Roten got his hands in there, Francis. That's his first foul. Samaji to the line.
Good looking stroke there for the big fella.
Gaucho's by 1. Gaddy tried to dribble between 2 defenders. Had it tapped free, but right to Brandon. Blocked away by Samaji. And here comes Taylor with it out of backcourt.
Samaji being active here early. Santa Barbara has to be pleased with that.
Brandon being very physical on him. Samaji creeps outside to set a screen for Taylor. Good ball movement as Kyle Boswell ends up on the receiving end for the 3-point shot, and the Gauchos open up a 4-point lead.
Simmons ends up with Boswell on the switch, gives him a little bit too much space. Again, another one of the good shooters that Santa Barbara has on the roster.
6-point run right now for the Gauchos. Pointing, one dribble, double, feeds off to Simmons for 3, and that one is good.
That's a bonus bucket for Washington. Simmons can step away and knock down shots from behind the arc.
Again, getting to the rack in a super setup for Hornbuckle.
This is that familiarity that we talked about that this Santa Barbara team has with each other. These guys are a veteran group and are all on the same page here.
Roten drives, scoops, had a block, got it back, laid it up, rolls around and in.
That's one of the strengths of his game. He has that second jump and the ability to follow his shot.
The Gauchos were 10-20 last year in the Big West. Taylor tees it up. Samaji with the collection and the jam. And the Gauchos lead at 22-19 at the 10-18 mark of the first half.
Well, Samaji has been the guy here for the last 5 minutes. But again, the undersized Washington team trying to figure some things out here, having trouble with the 7'3" Hungarian.
And Jaime Cerna at 6'9" getting set to come in. Here's Simmons. They'll leave him alone. And he knocks down the baseline jump shot.
2 for 2 for Simmons from the baseline there. Samaji a little late getting out there. I think he needs a blow.
3 Gauchos waiting to come in. Off the screen. Orlando Johnson will bounce when he let it fly, but a long rebound gathered in by the Gauchos. Johnson early on the clock, and he hits a 3-point shot. Orlando Johnson with 30 on the shot clock, and the Gauchos lead by 4.
Well, we've seen him knock him down from the outside, and he has a post-up game, too, at that 6'6", 225 that we talked about.
UC Santa Barbara shooting 66% at 10-15. Roten has a little one on him, but shoots the 3. Ball volley. And recovered again. One and done for the Huskies.
Both teams trying to fight through fatigue right now, trying to wait for this next timeout.
Johnson's got his motor. Look at that pass off the roll into the paint. Samaji in the rack for the jam. Oh, what a pass. And then getting up in the passing lane to knock it down is Hornbuckle. UC Santa Barbara is going to be a tough number tonight. 8:59 remaining in the first half, and the Gauchos lead 27-21.
Well, Samaji here has been just absolutely the man of the hour here for the last 5 minutes. We see him follow up there with the missed shot, and then Johnson with Gaddy right on the shooting hand, knocks down a 3, nothing but bottom. And Santa Barbara right here, they are definitely offensively clicking as you see Johnson laying it off for Samaji for the dunk. Right now, Santa Barbara rolling with a six-point lead here.
Samaji, the senior from Budapest in Hungary. And Bob Williams not afraid to use his bench. Season high for Samaji, by the way, with 7 points in 6 minutes. The Gauchos, they've played some interesting ball games. A double overtime loss to UNLV, 94-88. They've had some heartbreakers. They, of course, had the widely reported game when they beat San Diego 65-61 and nearly lost the game because of a late technical foul with 6/10 of a second left. When the Gaucho fans resurrected him, I guess a time-honored tradition of throwing tortillas out on the floor.
Well, these guys are a couple of buckets away from being undefeated. I mean, because both of their losses have been in overtime. Now, if we look at common opponents, they beat Portland 83-69 back on the 22nd of November. Washington played Portland on the 14th of November and handled them by 30.
Checking back in. For the Huskies, number 23, C.J. Wilcox, number 40.
Yeah, that was interesting. 6/10 of a second left. You're up 2. Your fans are throwing tortillas on the floor. The coaching staff and the players are scrambling to remove the tortillas. They're pleading with the officials not to call a technical foul, and they didn't. Yeah. They did admonish the crowd. That was a bit of discretion by the officials, and they went on to win by 4. And I noticed there were some fans, seriously, they came in with a stack of tortillas tonight. Hopefully the Huskies won't be seeing it, but right now, the Gauchos leading by 6 with 8:53 left here in the first half.
We see Sean Kent Jr. in the lineup for the first time as Washington looking for some answers on the inside.
Roten drives inside. Great battle. He and Cerna. And Roten just sheds the guy that's 235 to get a hard-earned bucket. He's got a half dozen.
And Santa Barbara, we have to see how they're able to execute and where the points going to come with Johnson on the bench getting a breather here. And look for him to go to Nunley. As I said earlier, he's 18 points per game.
Nunley, the 6'6" senior, give him to Cerna. He walked and got away with it. Lorenzo Romar, big protest. Cerna will get it back. Gann is after it. Wilcox will take it. Nearly gave it away in front of his own rim, but recovered there by Ross.
Into this game, Terrence Ross scores.
Roten the no-look inside to Kemp. Had it, lost it. Tried to find Gann, threw it away right to Cerna. Back the other way. Here is Christian Peterson running along, getting back on the Husky defense for an easy bucket.
And that's twice that Santa Barbara has got behind Washington. The first time Simmons hustled down and knocked the pass away. And this was a big problem for Washington in the game against Duke as they got beat over the top 4 times.
Kemp Jr. taking it to the rim is blocked, but is fouled and will shoot 2 when we come back with 7:28 to play in the first half. Transition defense crucial as UC Santa Barbara leads by 6.
Welcome back to Alaska Airlines Arena. UC Santa Barbara leading the Huskies 29-23. One of the reasons the play of Greg Samaji, both in blocking and in dunking, very active at the rim. And Lenny Wilkins, as you watch this game, the Huskies start off with a smaller lineup. How do they defend? What do they need to do to slow down what the Gauchos are doing?
Well, I think 2 things, Jan. I think, one, they got to pick them up a little earlier. They started that at the beginning of the game. Make them have to use some time on the clock. Right now, they're playing at their pace, and so they're making great plays at the rim. They're making blocks, but they're also getting some putbacks. So, you know, we got to change the pace just a little bit.
And Kevin, you guys mentioned it before. The Huskies looking a little bit tired here. Need to find their legs midway through the first half.
Yeah, Jen, thank you. Travel sometimes will do that to you, but look, these are young men. They play AAU basketball. They'll play 4 games in 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. It should not be an issue. It's more about desire here as they come back home tonight. As Kemp gets to the free throw line. Now, free throw shooting is definitely an issue for the Huskies. 60% shooting as a team for the Huskies. Kemp splits a pair.
Well, they could have a New York hangover. We see that full court pressure that Coach Wilkins talked about they needed to do, and so they absolutely come out and try to speed them up a little bit. But, you know, right now, whether it's been the guys coming off the bench or the starters with
comes out trying to hedge a little bit and makes contact with Nunley for the foul.
You finally see Washington taking advantage of a turnover and getting out in the open court. Terrence Ross makes a good decision. No one stops the basketball and he takes it all the way to the basket.
14th foul for the Huskies. Gaucho 17 fouls. That's the other thing the Huskies need to do is get to that free throw line to double bonus. Here's Boswell over the Nunley. Slants in double. Swings to Peterson. Kept in a rebound.
The help defense for Washington has been pretty solid all night. As you saw, there was a lot of help there. So the guys on the perimeter get some looks.
Roten with a beautiful pass to Kemp. Fouled as he went up. So, Sean Kemp Jr. to shoot two.
Well, you see here Tony Roten with the look-away pass, which he's known for. And Kemp, you like the fact that he's aggressive and goes up and tries to dunk the basketball. He split a pair of free throws the last time he was there, so let's see if this time he can get them both to fall.
Ivy Cerna picks up his second foul. For just joining us, starting the game tonight was Tony Roten in his first collegiate start. With three other guards after he had C.J. Wilcox, Terrence Ross, and Darnell Gant in the lineup as well for the Huskies. Aziz Njai is out for the next 2 to 3 games. This is the first of 5 in a row here at home for the Huskies. Games 4 and 5 will be against Oregon State and Oregon as they begin Pac-12 play on December the 29th.
That's a long diagonal pass that you see Williams trying to make, but you see Nunley's not meeting that pass, and that gives Kemp the opportunity to shoot the gap there and play for the steal. You got to meet those passes, especially from that distance.
Gaucho's by 2, 6:28 to play in the first half. Orlando Johnson on the Samaji screen. 3 Huskies coming to get him. He rolls it around. Samaji the rebound. Laid it up. Somebody's got to get a body on here. And Gant comes down.
Well, Huskies dodge a bullet there as Samaji gets the offensive rebound.
Roten drives into the lane. Elevates over the 7-3. Samaji is fouled but scores the bucket.
Washington gives Santa Barbara a little taste of their own medicine. As Santa Barbara's not recognizing that Roten is open on the wing there, and he's got a clear path to the basket, and he goes strong. And Samaji gets him on the way up. Roten, where he's had some struggles, is at the free throw line with the chance for the three-point play.
Second foul on Samaji, Francis, and Cerna with a foul, 2 fouls as well. This free throw put back by Kemp's off the mark. Washington on a 6-0 run to tie the game at 29. There's Nate Garth, the starting guard. Trying to get Nunley going. Nunley and Ross really have negated one another with some pretty steady defense. There's the lob to Samaji. They come to double on the catch. Samaji's going to repost on Kemp. Kemp's trying to stay low. Use the leverage. Puts him outside. Good defensive strategy, but on the weak side, he needs teammates to straight out. Because Peterson had to fight off his own teammate for the push.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, these guys are beating each other up. That being Santa Barbara for offensive rebounds.
Roten the 1-2. What a play by Tony Roten. Bringing it hard to the right side with a backhand flip.
They have not been able to keep Roten out of the paint, and he's attacking the glass.
31 off the score. 5:14 to go in the first half. Nate Garth pressure gets rid of it to Orlando Johnson. Huskies extending the defense now. Spread floor. Johnson one-on-one. He'll pump it, miss it. There's Peterson again with a rebound. Loaded up and off the mark.
But Johnson lost control of that shot on the way up. The ball slipped out of his hands, but again, another offensive rebound for Santa Barbara.
4:50 to go in the first half. Ross with it. Looks off Gant on the screen and roll. Fires the 3. Samaji there with a rebound. Alan Williams getting set to come in for UC Santa Barbara. Gaddy and Simmons for Washington. 4:34 to play here in the first half.
Santa Barbara needs to try to get Nunley going. If they can get him going along with Williams, Samaji's already established himself in the paint. If they get Nunley going, then they're really going to have something going on there.
Nunley's only had one shot. He drives in, makes contact on the pass with Ross, and the foul on Terrence Ross.
Previous play for Washington. Again, Tony Roten. Real crafty with that left hand. Knows how to use the English off the glass, regardless of what side of the basket he's on. And this is something that he's always excelled at, being able to get to the basket and finish.
Roten with a game high 10 points on 5 of 11 shooting.
And number 15, Alan Williams.
Phoenix North High School. Williams 6'7" and 240. Not only is 0 for 1, Francis, he's not getting shots. Wilcox now will pick him up at 6'5". Wilcox makes it difficult. Now in the corner. This is Hornbuckle. Drills a 3.
But you give him credit. He's gotten to the lane a couple times where he could have forced up a shot and just dished off to a teammate for a good look. So we appreciate the fact that he's being unselfish and playing within the framework of the team.
Gaddy in for the Huskies. He'll run the ball. Now Roden goes to the bench. Gaddy sizes up Hornbuckle and drills it.
Some space with that hesitation dribbling and gets him to back up. And he's been shooting the ball a lot better this year.
7 points for Gaddy, 34-33 to score. The Gauchos on top. You rarely see Johnson post up. He always starts his offense, initiates it with the dribble on the wing. Now he gives the ball. Kind of stepped through and did. That's a beautiful move. Great deal of patience, Francis. You pointed it out. That time, very patient. Waited to get to the right spot for Wilcox in defense.
Absolutely.
Kevin Calabro here in Seattle. The Huskies returning home, the first of 5 in a row, 9 of the next 11 here on this floor. They've got a streak of 31 consecutive victories on their home floor against non-conference teams. And tonight, the Gauchos have issued a strong challenge. They lead here 36-33. Washington led by the wonderfully talented 10 points so far.
That would be a great question. Who was the last non-conference team to beat Washington?
Valpo.
Was it Valpo?
It was.
Okay. You would know.
Why? Because I'm from the state of Indiana.
You would know. I was thinking that it was Pitt.
Not only with the jumper. There's Gaddy, another 3.
Same spot.
Gaddy knocks down another 3.
He's in a nice rhythm. I mean, he's making that look real easy. Great rotation, good follow through.
10 points for Gaddy. He's 4 for 4, Francis. And the Huskies are 4 of 8 from 3. 2-point lead for the Gauchos. 2:45 to go. Closing in at the end of the first half. Williams, he is laying some wood up here. That's a high screen. And Roden gets a piece of it. Rose is wide open. Big fella. Knocks down a man, goes to the rim and laid it in. Gaddy didn't get there in time.
And we've seen that a couple times, and the problem is it's not that the rotation defensively isn't there for Washington, but the person at the rim guarding the rim is totally undersized.
Great play, anticipation by T.J. Taylor to sneak down to the passing lane. Bounces ahead to Noah. Shows, goes, drives, and another charge on the Gauchos. And another turn, Francis.
Weak side defensive drills are obviously working for Washington as they step in and take their 4th charge. You see Wilcox getting there. Meets him at the spot at about the same time, but he's clearly outside of the restricted area there.
Number 10, Kyle Boswell, back in for the Gauchos. Number 31, Terrence Ross on the floor.
Officials tonight are Dick Cartmel, Mike Cyphers, Michael Irvin, Roten and Ross, Wilcox, Gant and Gaddy on now for Washington. Still 4 and Roten, 1-1 on Hornbuckle. Goes up and under. Williams looked like had a hand on him.
Number 10,
He's very difficult to keep out of the lane. He's an adept ball handler. He's crafty with the left hand. He's a legit 6'4". He's big and strong. So he's a tough guard with regards to him putting on the ball on the floor and trying to get to the basket.
Washington 2 of 7 from the line tonight. Tony Roten, this is another. Roten, 27 of 52 from the line, coming in 52%. Ross and Wilcox are their best free throw shooters at 84%, but the problem is between them, they just have 32 total free throws just between the 2 athletes. Roten rolls in the second.
And especially Ross. I mean, the way Ross can finish at the rim and the type of athlete that he is, you would want and expect him to get to the basket more and get fouled more.
Gauchos lead by 3. You see they break pressure with 26 to shoot. A minute 45 to play in the half. Taylor running right hand. Gant unloads to the outlet. Here's Gaddy. Attacks 3 defenders.
Well, he got lucky because he went into the lane with 3 defenders there, and he's got Tony Roten on the left lane, all by himself who's been making plays all night. I think that's an opportunity for Gaddy to pass that ball ahead and let Tony Roden make a play.
10 team fouls, Gaddy to the line. Now Gaddy is a 66% free throw shooter. And he has just been dialed in, as Francis Williams pointed out. 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3.
He's in a real nice rhythm shooting the ball.
Pressure applied there as 3 Huskies over on the ball. On the weak side was wide open, allowing Hornbuckle to drive right down into the lane, lay it up and in. I don't think they knew there was responsibilities on that pressure. No, there was. So you had 3 guys over on the way over on the goal side.
Exactly. And Williams, when he had the ball over there was no pressure on the ball, so he had great vision and could see the whole court. So a couple of breakdowns that time for Washington.
So Hornbuckle goes to the line. The transfer from Colorado is 6'7", and has done a nice job off the bench. This is the free throw. Ross with the rebound. 10 players have played for UC Santa Barbara. 9 have scored. Roden drives in. There's Allen Williams again. Spikes the ball to Johnson ahead to Taylor. Leaving it for Hornbuckle. Tough shot straight away on the move. Johnson up and in. And UC Santa Barbara has just been dimly on the offensive glass.
Johnson just too big, too strong, number 1. But I think more importantly, you saw Johnson give the basketball up, pass the ball ahead, and gives them that break opportunity. And Washington just seems like they're sleepwalking a little bit here. As I said earlier, maybe a little New York hangover, a little finals hangover, but they're just half a step behind on everything they're doing right now.
7 make that 12 second chance points for UC Santa Barbara as Orlando Johnson scores the free throw. He's got a dozen. A good shooter, good scorer like that. 6th in the country at 22 a game. You want to get him out of the rhythm. He's found it tonight. 6-point UC Santa Barbara. Ross to Gant. Now and a minute left here in the half. Roten outside for 3. Too strong off the back rim. Simmons with a rebound. Ross set it up. Nope, they go right back to the rim. Swoops in, missed it. From the weak side, hovers at the 10 and slams it down.
Well, he's been active. He's been active all night. And neither coach is going to be real happy with how their teams have rebounded the basketball tonight, especially as far as blocking out.
21-14 rebounding edge held by UC Santa Barbara. Nice back kick. Hornbuckle lays it in with the left hand.
Washington gets a little pumped up, dunk, and Santa Barbara comes out and uses that against them with the back cut.
Gauchos by 6. Gant a 3 nailed. 5 for 10 of the Huskies from out there. They're within 3 with 15 seconds left in the half. And Orlando Johnson will work for the last shot.
I'm sure we'll see Mr. Johnson with a one-on-one opportunity, but he's made plays not only for himself, but for his teammates all night.
Johnson into a crowd. Rebound Williams at the buzzer, off the mark, and that ends the first half of play. The UC Santa Barbara Gauchos holding a 3-point lead at 47-44, and UCSB with a season-high 47 first half points against the Huskies. Washington without Aziz N'Diaye tonight did not have a block shot. Tony Roden getting his first collegiate start tonight. The freshman from nearby Garfield High School led the way for the Washington Huskies tonight with 13 points. UC Santa Barbara led by Orlando Johnson, who is 6th in the country in scoring. He had 12 in the first half as the Gauchos garnered 47 points. Of course, most they have scored thus far this season. On their way to a 5-2 mark. Along with Francis Williams, Jen Mueller, Kevin Calabro on hand here at Alaska Airlines Arena. The Huskies start with Simmons and Gant up front. Gaddy and Ross and Roten as Wilcox will come off the bench.
Well, he picks up where he left off in the first half, just attacking the rim. First half, I thought Washington kind of had a mindset of, we're going to outscore these guys. And I think Coach Romar shared with Jim Mueller at the half that it's going to be all about defense with them. The rebounding numbers are not a big surprise because Washington did start with an undersized group. But I think right now it's going to be more important, can Washington stop Santa Barbara?
Gaddy goes to the rim. Garnering the rebound. rebound is Gant. That one sails out of his left hand. Jaime Cerna with a rebound. There's Nate Garth with the last trip down the floor, scored on a nifty drive. He'll tee up the three this time. Long rebound deflected. Here they come on a 2-on-1. Ross has Gant with it. To finish. Oh, he got clipped right around the shoulder from behind by Jaime Cerna. And the officials will sort this out.
See Ross with the delivery there, and I don't think there was any harm or anything malicious with the foul.
And actually, Cerna was in the vicinity, but it was Peterson who collected him. Made the contact.
I actually thought Ross could have given that up a little bit earlier to Gant, which would allow him to have a better angle and a little easier finish at the rim.
Well, free throw shooting still a problem for the Huskies, who came in at 60% tonight, 5 of 11 in the first half. Rebounding a real issue, 22-14 advantage, UC Santa Barbara. And Francis, 12 second chance points for UC Santa Barbara. Without Aziz Njai, that's 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, a 7-foot presence out of your lineup. That's a big impact defensively.
Yeah, it really puts a lot of pressure on guys to, with their fundamentals, to block out and to stay with it, to understand that the defensive assignment isn't done until the rebound has been corralled.
You see Cerna getting to the paint for his second bucket of the night. Bucket of the night gets a 4-point lead for the Gauchos. Here comes Gaddy. Beautiful drive in the lane. Gaddy with 14.
Washington attacking the rim as well, but right now the game is coming down to which one of these teams is going to have the defensive mindset to stop the other one and get some stops, or maybe we're just going to have a shootout.
Orlando Johnson off the screen. Ross turns him and blocks the shot. Great stop there by Ross. Slings it ahead of Rook. Tony on the run. The cross-court whip to Gaddy. Pumps it inside to Gant. Arnett. Backs reverses with the left hand. Rebound up and in. 17 points.
And see, you have to kind of live or die and again get familiar with each other. See, Rupp is a good rebounder for a guard, but a lot of times when he's in there rebounding, if they don't get the rebound, their floor balance is off, and that's why they sometimes get beat over the top. But that's all about getting familiar with each other and understanding those assignments.
Really did up on Nate Garth. Husky crowd thought he had slipped to call the foul, however, on Tony Rook. Let's go down to Jen Buehler now.
Well, in talking to Gauchos head coach Bob Williams at halftime, he would like to see his team play smarter on the offensive end, pointing to the Dogs' 4 charges that they drew in the first half. So look for the Gauchos to go for some shorter shots on the outside and on defense, as we've already seen them meeting the Dogs outside the paint to stop that penetration. Kevin.
Here's Orlando Johnson. He tried to get to the rim. There was a pass broken up by Simmons. Tony Rook.
He's so slick with that left hand. And he's been the energizer bunny for these guys when he's been off the bench, and even tonight with him getting the start. And the may have gotten off, started up with that defensive effort, even though they called a foul on the previous possession. He may have finally gotten this Husky basketball team to wake up on the defensive end, but definitely has this crowd energized.
Rover at 19. Driving into the lane guard. Missed the shot. Peterson the rebound and a bump foul.
Been all night at the rim. Nice ball fake. The C's part. And it's a dunk.
That's his second personal foul. 2 team fouls on Washington. Number 11, TJ Taylor.
Fallon Darnell Dean is his second.
Also number 5, Keegan Hornbuckle checking in for the Gauchos.
Roten with his 19 points, guiding the Huskies to a 2-point lead. TJ Taylor will bring it back for the Gauchos from the baseline. It's nearly out of pick. Nothing with it. Hornbuckle short arms this one, and Simmons with the rebound.
Hornbuckle comes in again. Right away, gets a good look at about 10 feet. That ball never got above the rim.
Ross trying to shake Taylor. Ross has Taylor on him. He drops down to the bench. Ross wanted to swing at that side for pin down from Gant. It never happened. So he missed a mismatch opportunity. Roten looking on the back door throws it by Simmons, who felt like he had been held.
Yeah, they've got to recognize that. They've got to
as we go to timeout with the Huskies up 2. College Hoops on Root Sports is brought to you by Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking, and by Tulalip Resort Casino, the Northwest's finest resort casino. Just a typical night in traffic on 520. Washington top by 2 with 15:54 left here in the second period of play. Francis Williams, Jen Mueller, Kevin Calabro on hand.
Get ready for your toll. December 29th.
That's right, it's coming. Finally, December the 29th. Here's Tony Roten. 19 points for Tony Roten. Electrifying the crowd. Roten's career high is 23 points, of course, against Duke in the last outing. Huskies play zone on the inbounds for UC Santa Barbara on the baseline. Hornbuckle's wide open. Missed it. Ross tips it, but Nunley erases it from his own bench and has it stripped. Good recovery by Ross.
Step by Nunley to bring the ball up over his head where he has no balance and no strength, and they take it from him.
Ross trying to get himself going offensively at this time. Certainly the rebound. Ross is 1 for 6. Coming in, he's averaging 16 and a half. Serna inside out. Nunley trying to get himself dialed in, and he does right there with a 3-point shot. A guy that averages 18 a game. That is 7 for the contest.
Couldn't get it out quick enough. That Nunley and Ross here, both big-time scorers for their teams, pretty quiet here to this point. Nunley finally gets a good look at an open shot, and he buries a 3.
Now Ross trying to get post again. This time they've got the 6'7" Hornbuckle on him. He denies the pass.
Well, I don't know if we'll see Serna and Samajian play together, but if they do, they'd be 6'9", 6'10", and then the 7'3". And maybe if they were to go a little zone, we might see that before that would give them an imposing front line.
Serna had himself set in there, and a foul call on Ross for the charge.
You see it kind of happen in slow motion, but Serna establishing himself as a secondary defender outside of the restricted area, and he draws the charge.
Second foul on Ross. Gaddy will come out, and Wilcox will come in at the 15-minute mark here of the second half. 54-53, Gauchos leading the Huskies. UC Santa Barbara 5-2, 20-10 last year. Made the NCAA tournament. Won the tournament final against Long Beach State. Dan Johnson coaching that ball. Memorable game down the head. Huskies with a pick, but they give it away. Rotten trying to force it inside. Hornbuckle steal to Taylor. It comes to Orlando Johnson. Hornbuckle freezes, now puts it on the deck. Nice adjustment to lay it in. It's too easy for him.
One thing about Johnson and Nunley, they are unselfish basketball players. As much as they score, they have a willingness to share the basketball because they have a trust in their teammates, and you can see why this UCSB team has had the success they've had this year.
Williams has done a terrific job now in his 14th season. He's got his bench liberally ability, no question about that. 222 career victories for Bob Williams, who's tied Jerry Pym all time. We're here tonight, and obviously Bob has the crown to himself.
Well, this will be a huge win for Santa Barbara if they get this one. They're going to be on the road for 12 days, and they leave here and play Cal, another Pac-12 opponent. So this will be a huge win if they were able to pull this off.
Back, spins in, got airborne, and is floating and scores.
And that's an area where Rogan is so impressive, is with his strength to be able to play through contact. You see here the 7'3" Samaji waiting on him. There's contact in the body, but he's able to just ward that off and play through it again with the left hand off the glass. So now back to the free throw line where he has had his struggles.
Samaji's third foul, team second, and welcome to the line. Tony tonight with 22 points, closing in on the career high. 6 ties and 4 lead changes so far in this game between Washington and UC Santa Barbara. Boswell and Taylor exchange. Nutley wants a screen high from Samaji, trying to take Ross off of it. Back pin, but real beautiful. Simmons again in the air. Santa Barbara's bench has responded. They had a 21-9 bench advantage in the first half over Washington.
The start they got from Samaji just really energized this team in that first half.
Samaji, a shot released by Sean Kemp Jr. Good read by Kemp, met him at the summit.
Well, he has the ball down with the common-sized people that allow him to block the shot.
Down there with the Lilliputians. Boswell to Peterson. Takes a look, terminates the dribble. Simmons over. 10 to shoot now for UC Santa Barbara. That's good movement now with basketball for Peterson.
In the first half, they took Williams out of the game, and they had a 6-point cushion, and they actually played well without him being in the court. But now here in the second half, you see him coming back into the game. His rest is brief because we have a 56 game here, 13 minutes to go, and they cannot afford to have him on the bench for an extended amount of time as they did in the first half.
Huskies have turned the ball over just 5 times. UC Santa Barbara with their 12th turnover. Reset of the shot clock for Washington. Wilcox tonight with 5. He and Simmons have combined for 7 points. I should say he and Ross have combined for 7. Simmons has his 3 block. It's loose. Peterson with it. This is Orlando Johnson. It's his foul. He's trying to get the ball up for a shot. Carl doesn't like it.
Williams in the open court is so strong and such a good ball handler, and he has a real knack of knowing how to use the glass also, which is a skill.
Didn't see a lot of contact there from Wilcox. That's his 4th foul nonetheless. And here is Orlando Johnson from Seaside, California, member of the University World Games. He won the gold medal, 7-1. He was a starter in 4 of those games. Lorenzo Romar couldn't say enough good things about this young man, Orlando Johnson, that was raised by his 2 older brothers.
Yeah, his is a fascinating story. If you haven't had a chance to read it, really never knew his dad, lost his mom at age 3. He was raised by a couple of his brothers who basically put their lives on hold to raise him. And it was an interesting story. Hopefully we'll get to later about some controversy that's surrounding him about walking off the court and shaking hands and lost earlier this year.
Transferred in from This is Orlando Johnson handling. Overhand. Lost it. Another turnover on UC Santa Barbara. That is their 13th of the game. UC Santa Barbara leading here by 1.
But he walked off the court and didn't shake hands after one of those overtime losses that we talked about. And one of the 2 brothers we talked about met him at the locker room and basically read him the riot act. Said, that is not what we do. So the coaches never even had to address it with him. The family took care of it. So again, a great story. But here at Alaska Airlines Arena. The Gauchos with a 1-point lead. Tony Roten is scoring. He's 22 points here, but he's taken 17 shots, whereas Wilcox and Ross, who they really depend on, Wilcox has 4 shots, Ross has 6. Is he dominating the ball a little bit too much maybe, and that's what we've been talking about, getting familiar with each other?
Yeah, Francis, it's that, and also what it is him maturing a little bit, because he can penetrate and he can get to the basket, but you got to find your teammates, especially when you got a guy like Wilcox, a guy, Terrence Ross. Those guys are going to be involved in the offense, so I think he's got to do more of that.
Yes, sir. We're coming out of the timeout. It looks like that's something they talked about as they get Ross for the lob on the back cut.
Yeah, they definitely need to do more of that. As Ross shows springs.
Yeah, they have so many weapons out there. They just got to get them all involved and get them all on the same page.
Huskies by 1, 11:26 to play in the game. Ross overplays Orlando Johnson, who's now on the mid-block trying to post. But the little diminutive point guard, Nate Garth, has other ideas. Three's off the mark and the ball fanned out of bounds. Husky basketball on the team rebound and the timeout with 11:15 to play in this one. It's a good one. Huskies 58, UC Santa Barbara 57. On the 10th of January against Seattle University. Francis Williams coming from Jeff Mueller on hand. 11 minutes left in this one. And the Huskies on top 58-57. Broken started tonight for the Huskies. Richards is joining us as he's that guy to 7-footer. Out for the next 2 to 3 games. This is Johnson. And a nice soft touch over there.
Okay, you pointed that out early in the basketball game about these guys, particularly Ross, playing a little bit closer to the basket where he can take advantage of his size and athleticism, and also giving him an opportunity to get to the foul line more than he has so far this season.
Good double team defense there. Ross and Kemp. Johnson has a tendency sometimes to overhandle that ball.
He is a ball sticker at times, and that's coming from one of the scouts that I talked to earlier. He does have a tendency to have the ball stick to his hands a little bit, but this is what San Diego did to him all night, especially in the first half, where they held him scoreless, so it's not a surprise to see Washington here in the second half just double team and make him get rid of the ball.
Ross whirling inside. Trying to get it by the 7-3 Samaji. There's a roll. There's a call. Won't get it. Orlando Johnson the other way. Off the high screen. He'll pump it deep from the top. Roten with a rebound. Roten with Ganny on the left. Kemp and him. Nicely covered by Kemp. That's all he could do with that, was just try to direct it toward the rim and hope that it went in or a teammate got a piece of it. Tipped out of bounds off Husky hands.
Yeah, that's a great job by Kemp running the floor. You teach your big men run from rim to rim, and he did a great job of sprinting down the floor. Got behind Samaji, the pass just a little bit off.
Nate Garth, Wayne Bratton only elevating for 3. Good. This ball grabbed by Johnson to throw it out of bounds. Washington will take it with 9:51 remaining. Washington on top here, 60-57. Keep in mind, C.J. Wilcox has 4 fouls. His team has been, his time has been curtailed. Ross will come out, and Hakeem Stewart, the freshman from Rainier Beach, right here in Seattle, has stepped in. And you've got Gant, you've got Kemp, you've got Roten, Lorenzo contemplating Simmons in now for King Jr. He's done a real nice job defensively to energize his ball club.
He did. Just come in and throw your body around. Be aggressive.
Roten gets to Gaddy, then Roten fades off the screen. Roten gets a switch. He's got a small one. He's shooting the 3. Largest lead of the night, 63-57.
And when he's making that shot, I don't know how you got it.
Sorry, a nice find. Orlando Johnson and 1.
On the weak side We go back to the previous play by Roten. I mean, he comes off the ball screen, and that's in the scouting report to let him take that shot. And so the defender's doing exactly what he should be doing. I mean, he's giving it to him. That was Boswell. But if he's making that shot, now we've got a problem. I don't know how you guard him if he's making that one.
And frankly, he doesn't shoot threes. He's just 3 of 8 coming into the game. Good percentage, but a very low volume, obviously, for the Huskies, who have played 8 games so far this year. Right there with a career high 25 on a night where he realizes his first start here at the University of Washington. Here's Orlando Johnson for the three-point play. Huskies by 3, 9:08 remaining in the ball game. Left floor for Gary.
Now they try to go with a bigger defender on the way to stay up.
Runs him into Johnson, spiking the shot with one bucket, makes contact with the body on the way up.
Playing a little more size, but he gets into the Hornbuckle's body and draws the foul.
13 foul on the Gauchos. Free throw shooting an adventure for the Huskies again tonight as a team, 7 of 14. They came in shooting 60%. Roten knocks that one down. Roten coming into tonight's game, 52% of 27 of 52, leads the team. And free throws made and attempted.
Don't wrestle. Second guy don't shove the first grounder.
A whole lot of speculation about Roten. Is he one and done at the University of Washington? Pro scouts here in abundance tonight. We'll take a look at Roten, Hunter Johnson, and Terrence Ross, who steps in now for the Huskies as Roten goes to the bench with 8:51 remaining in this game, and the Huskies on top, 65-60.
Now we have to see how Washington operates with Roten on the bench. With that Stewart on the floor, who's a freshman. Simmons is a redshirt freshman.
And with the overplay on Cerner, Cerner allowed to get in there, lean double to 9 for 3. Bingo. That's the guy that scares me. He's been very quiet. 4 of 6, 10 points for Nunley. He's hit 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Gaddy double to Gant. Rotating to Ross for 3. And it goes. Terrence Ross.
He goes down to the block, gets a couple buckets down there. Gets a little confidence going nice, steps away and knocks down the 3.
5-point lead for the Huskies. 8 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Washington extending their defense in a foul. And Romar is emphatic, protesting the call in front of the bench.
This is just a catch and shoot for Ross. Johnson a little late getting there. And we know he's more than capable of knocking down that shot.
Thought maybe Lorenzo had pushed Michael Irving a little too far along, but he quickly got back by that hash mark into the coach's box. 7:58 remaining in the game, and Johnson the 3. Tipped up by Hornbuck off the mark. Ross with a rebound. Washington trying to expand the lead here. They're up 5. Gaddy skipping dribble into the paint, takes one over deep and laying it in. Nice move.
Gaddy and Washington has been able to get to the basket pretty much at will. And once again, Gaddy, just with his size, is able to once again get to the basket and finish.
Gaddy was 16. Johnson double, feeds to Cerner, reaching in with Simmons. And a non-shooting foul at the 7:26 mark here. A timeout called. Washington at home, enjoying their largest lead, up 7 as we go to break.
The Huskies with a lead now against the Gauchos, 70-63, the 7:26 mark in the second half. We've seen a lot of different lineups from the Dogs tonight as they start with 4 guards on the court due to the absence of Aziz Njai. And Francis, how does that give them versatility when the big man comes back?
Well, we talked about it in the open that this gives Washington a chance to kind of look at some different lineups to try to get themselves ready for conference play. But if you look at the interchangeable parts that they have, we talked about Gaddy and Roten playing together. You want to see Ross and Wilcox get shots up because they're scorers. But I think what's really going on with this team right now is that, they know that they're not going to have Scott Suggs. They're going to play a few games here without the big man Aziz in the middle. So it's just about getting everyone on the same page. And although Roten has scored a lot of points tonight and he's been outstanding, you can see here when he went out of the game, you saw Ross step away and hit a three. You saw Gaddy get to the basket, and they just all have to understand and recognize where they like the ball and where they want to get it on the floor and what they can do with it. And then, of course, defensively get into a mentality that we're not going to outscore teams, but we're going to be able to dig in and beat you defensively as well.
Scott Suggs, the senior. He and Ross and Wilcox were just a deadly triumvirate from beyond the three-point arc last year. Here's Cerna at the line, and the second free throw rolls in for Jaime Cerna. Now, for the Gauchos to get back into this thing, down 5, 2 possessions, 7:22 left, they've got to minimize, eliminate the turnovers. They've had 14 turnovers, and they had great success on the offensive glass in the first half. Not so much here in the second half. They've done a better job to close out defensively on the window. Here's Cerna, who steps up and bangs Ross, and this will be the 4th team foul on the Gauchos.
Washington has done a better job on the glass. They've kept Johnson pretty much under wraps, too, as he only has 4 points here in the second half. And the defense and the effort has been a lot better.
Cerna with his 3rd foul. Simmons to bring it in bounds. Roten spins away from Nunley. Mid-range shot. Steps back, misses. Rebound found outside by Gant. Good play.
And that's an example right there. You see Gant just stand with that play and giving Washington an extra possession, although they're not able to take advantage of it. He's able to get out in the open court.
Huskies up 7. It's their largest lead of the night with 6:25 remaining in the game. Nate Garth, junior from Sacramento. Spins and found 2 Huskies, Gaddy and Simmons right there, and Garth gets off the shot, but is fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Ball pressure applied by Tony Roten. Simmons picks up the loose ball. We talked about the ball being a little sticky with Johnson every now and then. And he's another player, I think, that he's capable of going down in the low block and doing some damage. And I think he spent a little bit too much time on the perimeter as well.
I absolutely agree. He's not using his advantage. He's 6'5". He's got a barrel chest. He's an athletic guy who can score well with his back to the basket. He should be down there on that mid block, I think, Francis, for 5 or 6 touches during the course of the game.
Yeah, I would agree. He started out down there and hit a couple of step back fadeaways off the glass, which is fine. That's a part of his game. But it seems like as the game has gone on, he's drifted further and further away from the basket.
Ross steps back and drills a 3 off the screen. He's got such an easy way about it. Ross 5 of 11, 2 of 4 from 3. He's got a dozen. And the Huskies starting to work away from the Gauchos, leading now by 8. Johnson starting outside, and he worked so hard to get in there for that mid-range shot. That's the other thing. He's working hard against it.
Yeah, and I think over the course of the game, they've worn him down a bit. And that was a good get by Roten. Wilcox has got to understand that he's open. Keep your head up, son.
Counted if it goes, he's fouled. And so Terrence will step back to the free throw. Ross getting a lot of encouragement from Roten there. Terrence with 10 in the second half, 12 total for the game.
And they need him. They need him. They need Wilcox as well. They're going to have to score for him.
Terrence Ross, shooting 2.
Ross from Jefferson High School down in Portland, Oregon. Taylor and Hornbuckle step in as Garth and Peterson step out for Bob Williams Gauchos. In the ball game, the Huskies up 10 at the top of the show. Francis Williams made it a point to tell me that Lorenzo Romar was going to dial the Huskies in tonight, make some changes, had to out of necessity with and Jai stepping out of the lineup. I think 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks out of your lineup. Insert Roten into the starting lineup. But other than that obvious, what are you seeing the subtleties now of the Huskies tonight that maybe gives you an idea that they
starting over. I mean, I know we're getting close to Pac-12 play, but it almost feels like they are starting over and they're just trying to figure out who they are once and for all. We're going to define our roles, who we are as a team, what we like to do, and how we're going to go about accomplishing our goals. So I don't think that they're quite ready. I think this is just step one of getting back into the lab and getting it figured out.
So the good news is they've got a couple of games before they get into Pac-12F and meet Oregon State and Oregon here at home. That's Orlando Johnson stepping back and nailing the three straight away. The Gauchos are down 7 with 5 minutes left.
Well, I figured with Taylor coming to the game that Santa Barbara was going to come with some pressure and try to speed the game up a little bit, because that's what they did when he came in the first half. And you see right away, they come in with the zone trap, they create a turnover, and he knocks down the three, and we go from 10 to 4.
Gauchos are not done with a back-to-back three from Taylor and Johnson. 77-73, 4:41 remaining. One pass inside the game. Step through, Sermon. Ball on the ball is Roten, but grabbed by Taylor out of the air. Here comes UC Santa Barbara. Also had Gant intercepts. 15 turnovers on UC Santa. Make it 16 on the Gauchos.
And again, on the offensive end for Washington, he's turned himself into a stretch four, really. And when he gets the ball on the block, he's just not comfortable, especially if he's playing against a guy his size or bigger.
Tony just lost track of where he was at there. Threw right to Hornbuckle for the lay-in, and the Gauchos go right through that door. You leave it open, they'll come through. 8-0 run for the Gauchos to pull within 2 of the Huskies. 4:02 remaining. What happened?
Just, focus and concentration. You've got to finish games. They have a 10-point cushion. They come out of a timeout. A senior, experienced basketball team goes to their guy. They get a three, turn it over. So you have to finish the basketball game. Santa Barbara's not going to go away. They're not going to go away. This is a team that's been in the tournament 2 years in a row. Numbers a senior. Johnson is a senior. These guys know what it takes. So Washington is going to have to finish them. They're not going to beat themselves. Washington's going to have to beat them.
Let's go back to the studios and Angie Minty.
Yeah, Casey, I'm here at the Northwest Sports Desk. Don't miss a Northwest College Hoops triple header this Sunday on Root Sports. It begins with Washington hosting South Dakota State from Alaska Airlines Arena. Then Tony Bennett returns to the Northwest when Virginia faces Oregon. It wraps up with Portland State traveling down I-5 to face the high-flying Oregon State Beavers in prime time. Coverage begins at noon Sunday only on Root Sports, Casey.
Angie, thank you. Abdul Gani in the lineup as Roten goes to the bench. Gani now will run the show with 3:51 remaining in the game. The Gauchos on an 8-0 run have now pulled it within 2.
And Santa Barbara goes to a matchup zone here. And you see Gaddy come in the game to hopefully kind of stabilize things for Washington. But they end up with a good look for Wilcox. But a lot more time left on the clock, especially at this point in the game.
They go to the money man. Orlando Johnson making a 10-0 run. Johnson a 3, Taylor a 3, Hornbuckle, and now Johnson comes back with a shot. And he is fouled. Will go to the line with a chance to take the lead on an 11-0 run with 3:30 remaining in the game. Angie, thank you. Lenny, thanks. 10-0 run in the last minute and 30 seconds. A couple of Husky turnovers. And Orlando Johnson with a chance to give the Gauchos the lead. Simmons, however, with a rebound. We're tied at 77. 3:25 left. Simmons and Gant. Wilcox, who has 4 fouls, along with Gaddy on the floor. Ross is way off on the weak side. But the Huskies with 19 to shoot balance the floor. Here's Gaddy directing the floor.
And this matchup zone has Washington a little bit out of sorts here. The timeout was partly to address that issue.
7 to shoot. Ross is way outside. Takes 2 men to the 15-foot stripe and missed the jumper. Simmons with a hustle play and a reset of the shot clock for Washington. Gaddy dives in. Missed the shot. Gant the recovery. Puts it in and a foul. And the Huskies take the lead.
Well, that's one of the issues you have when you go zone. You got to be the tough rebounders on the weak side. And Gaddy gets the lane to the basket and goes tough. Looked like it could have been a charge, but then you see from the weak side, here comes Gant, and he gets the putback and a chance for the three-point play.
So the senior from Los Angeles, Crenshaw High School, steps to the free throw line with 2:46 remaining. And Washington up 2. It looked like the Huskies were in firm command of this baby. They were up 10 with possession of the ball. And then UC Santa Barbara came on and trapped the basketball. A couple of threes, one by Taylor, one by Johnson. Ignited them. Again. And that three-point play is given the Huskies. With 2:38 remaining in lead, 80-77. Missed the shot. Rebound. Huskies. Nunnally over the top of a foul. This will be the 17th foul on UC Santa Barbara.
Foul the rebound charge number 21, James Nunnally.
And the Huskies with a chance now at the line.
17.
And boy, Nunnally leaves that shot just a little bit short. And see, he could have gone all the way to the basket. Concerner had come in there and just cleared a path for him to get all the way to the rim. But Nunnally expected some contact, pulled up there in the lane and left it a little short.
Wilcox tonight has 5 points. He's yet to go to the line. He's got 2 big ones here, or 1 big one. And now another here with 2:26 remaining, 81-77. Huskies by 4. Roten is back in along with Gaddy, Wilcox, Ross, and Gant for Washington. Orlando Johnson is out there with Nunnally. Their 2 leading scorers between them, 40 points again. Wilcox has given the Huskies a 5-point lead, so Washington has responded well.
Well, this is the group that Washington started the game with, and I think we're going to see Washington play a little zone also.
We've got Gaddy and Wilcox at the top of the 2-3.
So they've got to know where Boswell is. He's a shooter, and they have to know where Nunnally is as well.
This is Boswell. The 3 rolling off and Roten on the rebound. 5-point lead for the Huskies. They've got to stay patient now under 2 minutes remaining. Work the ball rapidly. And then Picanto's come to them.
No time to score right now.
Roten into the line. All with 14 on the shot clock. They'll go to the line.
Yeah, you want to make them defend you. You can break them down and get something easy. You want to go with that. But you know at this point in the game, shooting is going to become extremely important. So Roten, as he's done all night, attacks the rim. But now he's got to go to the line and knock him down to try to increase this lead from 5.
Roten with 27 tonight, 11 of 21 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 of 6 from the line, 6 rebounds, and an assist for Roten. Time now for our Volkswagen game summary.
Washington takes a timeout.
With a minute 39 remaining here in the second. With the career high. Abdul Gaddy, a season high, 16 points. And Washington with a 5-point lead after surrendering a 10-point lead. Game tied at 77. Washington has taken care of business down to a minute 39 remaining.
So we talked about Washington wanting to figure things out and see where they want to go. Here's your 2 guys that are your primary ball handlers / point guards. You have 44 points between the 2 of them. And so you have your 2 scorers, Wilcox and Ross. Ross has been a lot better in the second half as they've been able to get him the basketball. And I think that's a part of that equation. It's great that it looks like they're going to win this basketball game. They've got that type of production, but that's not going to work for them every night for these 2 guys to have that many points in between.
That's all I got for you. That's all I got.
Here is Roten now to the line. And Tony tonight 4 of 7 up there. Crowd dismayed at Washington's free throw shooting. 14 of 23, 53%. Here's Orlando Johnson, jump step, nice find of Nunnally. Good recovery, Wilcox blocks it, it's free. Boswell collects it. UC Santa Barbara with a minute 20 remaining, down 5. Boswell in the air, outside a 3 for Nunnally. Cerna, nice rip, saves it. Roten on the floor, collected. Washington right now can see the finish line with a minute even remaining.
Boswell got a good look at a 3 for Santa Barbara. Nunnally gets a good look at a 3, but not able to knock it down.
Touch foul, Nate Roten at the free throw line again. That is the 9th team foul. Time now for our Whitmer moment. That was a moment.
It was. Well, coming out of a timeout, knowing that Santa Barbara was going to extend the pressure, Coach Rothmar and his staff set up a backdoor lob to Terrence Ross. He delivers.
Free throw rolls off again, and Johnson brings it the other way. 82-77, 49 seconds left. Johnson broke free to the baseline, then Gant came over late. Ross didn't seal off the baseline, and Johnson will shoot 2 now.
Johnson on the baseline drive. You just see Gant coming down to help, and he's late getting there. But Johnson is so crafty around the basket. But one of these teams is going to have to make some free throws.
At 36 points earlier this year against UNLV, go to 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 47 minutes of work as they went to double overtime and lost the game. And he misses the free throw here. Johnson tonight 21-9, Francis, with a couple of assists.
Yeah, well, last time he was at the line, he had a chance to give the Gauchos the lead, which would have been just a real psychological boost for them if he had made that. And the score was tied at 77, and so now he goes back to the line and misses a couple more.
Getting with a rebound. Johnson fouls him. And that puts the Huskies down the double bonus with 43 and 6/10 seconds remaining. So here are the Huskies now with a chance to seal it at the line. And a lot of home games left for the Huskies here. Well, 8 of their next 10 are here at home. But they begin conference play December the 29th against a very good Oregon State team. And an Oregon team that's 5-0 at home. They've got Virginia on Sunday. Tony Bennett's Virginia Cavaliers. Oregon, Dana Altman. DeVoe Joseph, the transfer from Minnesota. Yes, sir. Earlier this year has already paid dividends for them.
And that might have been the reason why it wasn't that big of a deal. And I put that in quotes about Jabari Brown leaving because they knew they had DeVoe Joseph in the bank.
Washington on a 6-0 run. Jackson leans into a 3 and knocks it down. And quickly a timeout call by the Gauchos. 83-80 Huskies with possession. 35 and 5/10 seconds remaining.
Gaddy went to the line previously for Washington. He split a pair after Johnson had missed a couple, but here he gets a chance to get a rhythm 3 off the dribble, which we've seen him repeatedly tonight do, and this time he knocks that one down and makes this a 3-point ball game.
Okay, now if you're UC Santa Barbara, you're down 3 here, 35 and 5/10 seconds remaining. You know the Huskies are not a good free throw shooting team.
I'm following rope right away.
You absolutely have got to deny Ross the basketball, and if Wilcox is on the floor, you're denying those 2 guys. You want somebody else to catch it, and you're fouling anybody.
Absolutely. I think at this point, the way this game has unfolded, I would put Roten back on the line. Washington will come with their best free throw shooters more than likely. And we see them come out of the huddle, Gaddy, Wilcox, Simmons, Gant, and Ross. So that's a pretty good free throw shooting group. So, of course, Washington makes that adjustment, and they don't leave Roten on the floor.
Gaddy will bring it in bounds. Ross will circle off the double screen. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Try to traffic, get it out of his hands again. Ross in the contact make. So Ross will go to the line now for 2 shots. 84% free throw shooter coming into tonight's play was 16 and 19 at the strike. Washington by 3 with 26 and 8/10 seconds remaining.
Terrence Ross, 2.
UC Santa Barbara led at half 47-44. They were down 10, and within a minute and a half came back late in this game on a 10-0 run and put Johnson at the free throw line, tied at 77, and as Francis just mentioned, he hits the free throw. Ross won't miss. He hits 2. The Huskies up 5. On the foul here as Ross brings it into front court. 18 seconds left. Another. Good defense offered up by Wilcox and Ross and Simmons inside. Gant and foul over pursuing the no, jump ball, beg your pardon, exchange, and possession goes to the Gauchos.
Yeah, tough play there for Simmons as you see him in there battling with Johnson for that rebound. Could have been over the back, but Santa Barbara still has hope. 85-80 with 12.8 seconds to go.
And 8-10 seconds remaining in Seattle for the Washington Huskies, leading the Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara 85-80. Gaucho basketball on the inbounds. Nate Garth will bring it inbounds to the 5-2 Gauchos. Cerna up and under, double pump, missed it. Rebound grabbed by Gant. That could be it with 7 and 6/10 seconds remaining. Immediately they foul Gant. And here come the Huskies walking the other way with a chance at a couple of free throws and down.
Well, they got from there. Nice execution of the out-of-bounds play there by Santa Barbara, and Cerna not able to convert. But looks like Washington is going to survive this here. But gallant effort here by Santa Barbara as they really came in and tried to see if they could steal one from Washington.
They came out going right to the rim. In fact, in 3 of their first 7 or so possessions, they turned it over, the Gauchos did. When they went to the rim with such veracity, they charged.
Yes.
Turnovers, ultimately, I think, is what Bob Williams and the staff will look at. 16 of them here tonight. This is a good ball club, though. Very good ball club.
Yes, and they only had 7 turnovers at the half. And I think they would have lived with that, but now they have 9 in the second, and that ultimately is going to be their own doing, like I said. But, they leave here and they'll play Cal. That'll be a good matchup.
Johnson the other way, put it off the foot, and rolls out of bounds, and that will be that. With 1 and 6/10 seconds remaining, the Huskies go through the formality of bringing it in bounds, and they will go to 5 and 4 on the year. 87-80. Roten with 27 points, a career high. Gaddy 17, ties a career high. Ross had 16. Johnson with 24 points to lead the Gauchos tonight and go to 5 and 3 on the year. 1 and 1 on the road. The Huskies are over the 500 mark. And now have won 32 straight here at home in Seattle against non-conference teams.
Well, the home court's been good to Washington for many years. They needed the home court advantage tonight because Santa Barbara, they came in on a mission and they almost pulled it off.
And the dean